Hello to my Griffin artists. It's Mrs. Hugh here, and welcome to our art class. In today's video, we're going to continue to talk about the elements of art. The last two videos, we talked about color, where you mixed your Play-Doh to make the different colors on the color wheel, and you made your fierce but sleepy lions with their color wheel mane. We talked about the primary colors of red and yellow and blue, and the secondary colors of orange and green and purple. The elements of art, or the principles of art, is just sort of a fancy word for saying the ingredients. When your mom makes cookies, there's ingredients that she has to use to put into the bowl to make the cookies. And what we're talking about and learning about are the ingredients that make up art. One of the other ingredients or elements that we're going to talk about today are lines. And a piece of art will have color and it will have lines. So let's learn about lines today. It's pretty simple, but it's also interesting when you start to learn about lines, really how many different types of lines there are and how that can change your artwork. We have straight lines and we have hills, dots, zigzag, dashes. We have things that look like mouth ears and swirlies, waves, lightning bolt. A line is really anything that you draw in a line. Let's take out a piece of paper before we begin our lesson. And let's practice our lines. I want you to take the piece of paper that's in your supplies. It's just a little piece of scrap paper. And I want you to fold it in half so that when you open it up, there are two sides with a crease down the middle. Fold it back up and let's fold it again. So now if you opened it back up, there would be 4 boxes with a crease going across and up and down. Fold it back up again and fold it one more time so that when we open it up, how many boxes do you think we'll have? Let's see. We have 8 total, 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom. Just want you to take your piece of paper and we're going to practice different types of lines. So take a marker or a pencil or a pen and go up to your first box and start drawing a type of line. I think for my first line, I'll draw zigzags in my box. And fill your whole box up with the type of line you want to practice. I've got my zigzags and I'm filling my box up. I think the next box I'll do dotted lines. Or dab lines that are a little bit longer, dash lines. A dot line, a dab line. I'm making a pattern, and a pattern is really a series of lines. My next, I think I'll do squiggly lines. This is just a little practice to get us warmed up. Squiggly lines in this box. What should we do for our next box? Maybe I'll look at my little list here and we'll do loops. A little loop-de-loop. That looks like fun. Let's do some loop-de-loops. These sort of look like L's or smaller L's. Cursive has a lot to do with lines. And when you learn cursive, you're really learning almost an art. That looks pretty good. Why don't we do some lightning across our other box? Lightning lines. And let's try doing something like this. They call that castle lines. Sort of looks like the top of a castle. Again, if you need to stop and pause the video, please do so. I know I'm going quicker in this video because I'm not in front of you at class. I think I'll do now here, I think I'll do waves. I think I'll do waves in this box. Oh, this reminds me of the beach. Did you go to the beach this summer? Did you go in the water? All right, we have one box left to do a pattern. Let's see, why don't we do, I think I know, we'll do circles that are connected. These look like, almost like the beads of a necklace. We're gonna connect those. So believe it or not, these are all lines. And when you make a picture or a drawing, you're using lines and you're connecting them. And that is one of the elements or principles of art. So it's kind of neat too, because if you look at it, this looks like a work of art with your page with all of your different lines on it. Now, I want you to take out the other supplies that are in your bag. So we've talked a little bit about lines. We've practiced our lines, and hopefully you were able to pause me and work on some of your different boxes, because I know that we went through that kind of quickly. So I want you to put those aside and take out from your supplies your black piece of paper, and I included some scraps of colored paper. And with these, we are going to create lines, different types of lines, so that we can make a sculpture. A sculpture is something that you can see from all different sides. And I have some pictures of some colorful outdoor sculptures. As you see here, if you were standing here, you could walk all the way around this sculpture and look at it. You can see it from all different sides. It's not flat. Here's another picture of a really neat sculpture of different colored rocks. This artist definitely used the element of color in his art, and I think it's very eye-catching. I wanted you to see how big this sculpture is compared to the people that are looking at it. This, I believe, is in the state of Nevada. I would love to go and see this someday. So we're going to make our very own sculptures today. So I'm going to show you how. So we take out our paper, we take out our glue stick, and we take out our strips of paper. Your strips of paper come in different lengths. So some might be a little bit shorter. And if you would like, as you're working on your sculpture, you can cut your paper to make them smaller. As you see in this sculpture example, some of the pieces are smaller and some of them are longer. Now, if I took a scrap and I just painted it, glued it flat on the paper, that wouldn't be a sculpture. That would be more of a collage. A sculpture is something that you can see from all sides. So how do we create this sculpture with our paper? We're going to take our paper and we're going to give it feet. And the feet is what we're going to glue down our paper to the page with. So here we have our piece of paper that has feet. Don't run away, feet. Da 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 da. So we're going to take the feet, we're going to turn it upside down, we're going to take our glue, and we're going to put glue onto our feet. Lots of glue, and you might have to do this down on your counter. Lots of glue on one side, lots of glue on the other foot. That tickles. All right, so now we have our piece of paper with its pieces of glued feet. And if we were in the art room, we'd probably use a stronger glue, but since we're home, we're going to be using our glue sticks. So when you go to put it on the paper, you're going to put one foot down, and you're going to figure out, am I going to make the piece of paper look like this, or am I going to make it look like this? Am I going to twist it so that it looks like that? That's pretty neat. You get to decide. You're the sculptor. I think I'm going to take my piece and put it right here like that. And you're going to need to press those pieces, those feet down to the paper so that it really sticks. Now we're going to take another piece of paper, and I'm going to show you another neat thing that we can do with our paper to make an interesting line. Why don't we try to do like an accordion? So you would take your paper and just fold it over and fold it over again. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm taking the paper and folding it over and folding it over again onto itself until I have sort of like an accordion. And when I lift it up, neat! I've created a zigzag line. Remember that from our sheet? Remember our zigzag lines? There we go. Zigzags. And then I'm going to take that paper, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the glue on the feet, and then I'm going to decide where I'm going to put that piece on my paper. So I just put glue on the feet. Remember, we need those feet for it to stand up. And I am going to now decide where on my paper I'm going to put this piece of paper. I think what I'm going to do is have my zigzags go under my purple upside down U shape. See that? And I need to press it down. So as you take your paper, you get to pick what color you want. You get to decide whether you want to do a zigzag. You can do a wave. It all depends on what you would like to do. But you just have to remember, to have it stick on your paper, you have to make those little feet at the bottom. Let me show you again how we do that. I'm going to take this green piece of paper. Okay, here's my green piece of paper. Now what I decide to do with this, I can leave it smooth or I can do the zigzags. But I need to take my paper and I need to take each piece and turn it up. Put my glue here, other side, glue here. See, here are my feet. I'm going to take my glue stick, going to glue both sides really well. Make sure you put a lot of glue. Then I'm going to look at my sculpture here and I'm going to figure out, where should this go? I think I want something over here. And I'm going to press it down, really hold it down. And I think this time I'm going to twist this piece of paper, make something really some interest over here. And see, I've got that glue and I need to put the other foot down. It kind of reminds me of a game of Twister. Have you ever played Twister before? So I've got and maybe I'll make a little bend in the middle. So now I've got this piece. I'm going to keep going and keep going until I have a sculpture that has lots of lines and lots of interest. And on this one, I've even put a piece on top of another. Let me show you how I did that. Let's go back to this one. And I have this yellow piece of paper. And again, remember I made the feet. Take your paper and you make the feet. And those are the little feet that you've glued to stick on the paper. And just have fun with this, guys. This is your creation. And you can have fun picking your different colors, figuring out where you want it to go. I think I'm going to put one here. And then the other one, I am going to attach to the purple, the top of the purple. I'm going to have to hold it for a little bit just to make sure that it sticks. But as you can see, it is sticking to the purple now. And now my sculpture is getting height to it. It's getting higher. Will it be as tall as this sculpture? Probably not. But you can see that if this sculpture were just this. So, sorry, that video cut off, so I'm going to have to piece them together. But as you see here, this sculpture has a lot of height. If it was lower, it wouldn't give the same impression that this does, which is so neat. So try to give your sculptures that you're working on some height by adding paper on top of paper using that same technique of making the foot. And I'll show you one more time because I know it's kind of hard if we're not together in person. But you take your piece of paper like this, fold in one of the sides, fold in the edges, and then that is where we call those the feet. You put a little glue on one side, glue on the other. Take your sculpture that you're working on, think, where do I want that red? Where do I need something? I think I'll put one foot down here and another foot down here and just kind of press it. It's just so neat to see this sculpture come to life. And it is all made out of paper and your imagination. So I hope my Griffin artists enjoyed this activity. I can't wait to see what you do, and I can't wait to see what they look like finished. And when they're done, bring them in, and these are going to look so cool hung up on a bulletin board so we can show off our Griffin sculptors. Enjoy!